How did price controls backfire in the fight against inflation? Imagine trying to keep prices low during a busy shopping season, but instead of helping shoppers, you end up causing empty shelves and long lines. That's what can happen with government-imposed price controls. These are limits set on how much businesses can charge for goods and services, often used to fight rising prices. The idea sounds simple. If prices stay low, inflation slows down. But history shows that this approach often causes more problems than it solves. When governments set price caps, they are trying to stop prices from climbing too high. In the short term, this can make things seem more affordable. But these limits mess with how supply and demand usually work. When prices are kept artificially low, producers don't see enough incentive to make enough goods. They might cut back on production because they can't cover their costs or make a profit. This leads to shortages of basic items like food, fuel, or medicine. Consumers then face empty shelves, long lines, or even rationing to get what they need. A good example is during World War II, when the United States put price controls on many products. At first, inflation slowed down, but shortages quickly appeared. People couldn't find enough sugar, meat, or gasoline. When the controls ended after the war, prices shot up again because businesses had been unable to keep up with demand. Similar issues happened in the 1970s when President Richard Nixon tried to control wages and prices. The controls slowed inflation temporarily, but they also caused shortages and reduced product quality. Eventually, the government had to lift them because they just weren't working anymore. Price controls also discourage businesses from investing in new products or expanding. If they can't raise prices to cover higher costs or to grow, they might cut back on hiring or stop innovating. This weakens the economy's ability to produce goods and services over time. Plus, when official prices are kept low, illegal markets often pop up. People start selling goods at higher prices on the black market, which defeats the purpose of the controls. And to stay profitable, some producers might cut corners, leading to lower quality products. So the main problem with price controls is that they interfere with how prices normally signal what should be produced and consumed. Instead of fixing inflation at its root, like too much money in circulation or supply chain problems, they create distortions. These distortions cause shortages, lower quality, and economic inefficiency. When the controls are finally removed, inflation often comes back even stronger, making things worse than before. That's why most economists see price controls as a quick fix that doesn't hold up in the long run. They're a temporary bandage, not a real solution to inflation. Understanding this helps us see how prices reflected a complex web of choices made by businesses and consumers every day.